Scott Narver, it's the WWE Draft coming up on SmackDown and Raw.
Wow, Jake, I'm pretty excited, but I'd be way more excited if AEW was involved.
Oh, really? So that they could draft AEW wrestlers?
Yeah, think if WWE could draft AEW wrestlers like Jade Cargill or Andrade or CM Punk or even Cody Rhodes.
Wow. One could only imagine.
What year is it?
WWE Draft, where are they now? No, literally, today on Pro Wrestling Palskis. Hi, Scott Narver.
Hi, Jake Lloyd Bacon.
It's a very special episode of the PWP where we're gonna test your current wrestling knowledge.
Okay. Let me see. Ryback never held the WWE Championship. See, Ryback had pink eye 38 times.
Okay, yeah, track.
Okay,
wait, let me make sure you're getting all these right. Okay, yeah, go ahead. What else?
Okay, this is all about Ryback.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Ryback is a well-adjusted person on social media.
Okay, yeah, we'll give it to you.
I got that one right too?
Yeah.
I was sure I didn't.
How many chickens does he murder a day?
I don't know. He's a chicken strangler?
Yeah, he's a chicken strangler. Today we're going to test Scott's knowledge on the current WWE roster because this upcoming week is the WWE Draft. We did this at some point in history. I don't know when the last time we did it was, but we did it once and it was enjoyable.
1 year ago to the day.
1 year ago to the day. But before we get on with all of the hullabaloo, I want to welcome those joining us live via the super exclusive patron-only live stream and acknowledge the current PWP World Champ, Strong Style, a.k.a. Gaines, PWP Champ for the month of April, gave us a very fun watch-along. If you would like to challenge Gaines for that title for May, we're doing that drawing next week. You got to become a championship tier patron over at patreon.com/PWPalskis. And you could be champ. You could have your name etched in the annals of history. That's what it's called, right?
Me could be champ in the annals?
Yeah, you could be champ of annals. You can be champ of annals.
Wow.
So Scott Narver, as I said at the top, WWE Draft is happening. I put together a little sheet here.
Who you got?
Hopefully you didn't look at it because it's in our shared worksheet.
No, I did not look at it. We had talked about this being an idea.
Great.
And I was like, great. I'm not going to do any research. I don't have to do one bit of work.
Great.
That's on you, Jack.
Great.
So
did you just call me Jack?
The only prep I've done is pre-WrestleMania watching a bunch of shows all in a row, which you think would go, oh, now he's going to know who's on what roster.
Right.
But when you watch
they don't tell you
6 of each show all in a row, it all just blurs together and it's not.
You'll never know.
It's not clear. They should really wear blue and red shirts to distinguish who's on what show.
Oh,
I think should be the way they go.
Like T-shirts that say the name of what show they're on.
Yeah.
Oh, why haven't they done that?
I don't know. And then they could have brand supremacy and fighting in some way, maybe having some bragging rights.
Oh my goodness. We're really on to something here.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So
then you can stomp some grounds and take some names.
I took all of the names from Raw and SmackDown according to the WWE.com roster. As of today recording, we are recording this April 14th. It's a week and some change ago. Get off our backs. But I don't think a lot's going to change between now and the draft because that's the whole point of the fucking draft is to change things. So as of recording, this is where everybody's listed. And I have then just alphabetized the entire list. So all the Raws and SmackDowns are all mixed up. There are like 150 fucking people between these two shows. 110,
Is that all?
110 between Raw and SmackDown, not including managers who I didn't write down.
My God.
So we might as well get started. It's going to be a long day.
So
All right.
they're just going to fire some people, right?
Oh, yeah. Some of the drafts is going to be like
unemployment line.
Apollo Crews has been let go.
Or you're on WWE Speed on X.
Is Speed going to be one of the shows that they draft to? And it's just people coming out just sad.
Yeah, sad and going like, I can't beat someone that fast.
All right, Scott, you're going to have to keep your eye on the chat because I'm going to have my sheet blocking it on my screen here. Just a little heads up.
Holy shit.
Holy shit, indeed. All right. I did alphabetize it, but I did put team and stable names in the beginning so that I could group people together because,
that's what you do. You profile.
As of right now, Alpha Academy, Chad Gable, Maxine Dupree, Otis, and Akira Tozawa. What show do you think they're on?
Oh, man. So I'm doing all the, okay, wait. So that guy, Chad Gable interacted with Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn fought Gunther for the title.
Yeah.
So I think Alpha Academy is on. Oh, wait, what fucking show is the US champ on? Oh, shit.
Even if you know, you don't know.
They're on Raw?
They are on Raw. They are on Raw currently.
Oh.
So you've got Chad Gable, Maxine Dupree, Otis, and Akira Tozawa. Do you have any predictions or ideas about drafts, whether they're just going to stay there? Do you think one or two might go?
Otis is going to grow some wings and he's going to fly, baby.
You think so?
He's going to stay on Raw, and Chad Gable and the lady are going to go to SmackDown.
Really? What about Akira Tozawa? He's going to Speed?
He's Speed. Yep. He's going to Speed.
I actually wouldn't be surprised because of the recent Chad Gable push if they don't keep the rest of AA on Raw and then move Chad over to separate him from the rest of the group. And then he can have his own thing. They could still be friends. It's not like you're going to have him turn on them or anything like that. You can kind of save face.
He's still the creepy guy in all of his tenure where he either acclimates to people and dresses like them.
Right.
Or makes people do that for him.
Right.
He's got the weirdest history.
What was the trope
as a character in WWE?
There was something I was watching. It's like a sitcom or something we were watching recently, and it was like a girl character who they talked about, like, oh, you're like a chameleon girlfriend, where no matter what your boyfriend is into, then all of a sudden you're that, and they cut to like her dressed like a cowboy, her like being into all these different things that all of her different boyfriends were into. And I feel like that's Chad Gable.
Yeah, that is.
AJ Styles, part of the club. I forgot to put club in front of him. The OC.
SmackDown.
He is on SmackDown. Correct. Yes. He's a pretty big name. You think SmackDown's going to keep him? He's in a number. Obviously it's already happened for the listeners, not the viewers. But he's in a number one contenders match with LA Knight to see who challenges Cody.
Oh.
So the SmackDown that just happened as of the release of this. But
so AJ, that's AJ.
Right?
Can't have LA Knight versus Cody.
Yeah.
That's nonsensical.
But is that
versus Whoa? No.
But is that position solidifying him on SmackDown or showing that he's getting mixed up?
Yeah, he's had such a lineage with SmackDown. I know every so often they did the switch to Raw, but I keep trying to tell myself, this is someone else is running the show now. So I think a lot of we shook it up just to be crazy.
Right.
And isn't that weird? I think it's going to feel more purposeful, this whole draft. And hopefully
I think so.
Is not involving execs. I would like it if it's just Aldis and Pierce back and forth, and also acknowledge they're not in the draft. If there are some people, it's like, they're not in the draft flat out.
You know what? That's a pretty good.
Nick Aldis isn't going to read and go, going to Raw is me.
Right. Yeah, of course. They did that. I think it was last year where like every member of the WWE universe is eligible to be drafted, and they drafted commentators And, and it was just like, we don't,
It's happened.
that's all business. You can just,
over the years now. It's like, have them pick. You can do a fun thing where the next few picks presented are still chosen by Nick Aldis, but Shawn Michaels will read picks 5 and 6, and then representing Raw, choosing for Pierce, special guest stars. Like that all works, but have it just be the general manager.
Right.
Pick these people. But I think SmackDown AJ Styles is such a good fit. It's whether, I guess, depending on what the brand identity will be, right?
Right.
Because maybe that's something that we used to have it back in the day where Raw was the more entertainment show and SmackDown was the more wrestling based show.
Right.
But I still see it with it being Fox, and at some point it'll be Netflix. Right. Raw might be kind of crazy in that way. So it could certainly be more character based.
I agree.
More outrageous promos and stuff, right? Like we'll get to some of the people later, but I would guess LA Knight is going to go to Raw.
Right. Potentially. Yeah. I can see that. All right. Moving on through our alphabetized list here. Alba Fire. I think she's in a
redhead
tag.
Lady.
Yeah. I think she's in a tag.
She's on the main roster?
No, she's the brunette of that group. Yes. And it's her and
she's in a group.
It's a tag team. I forget the other one's name. I'm sure we'll come across it and I'll go, that. And clearly I didn't remember. I told you I grouped tag teams together and I didn't do it with these ones because that's how much I forgot they were a tag team.
Raw.
Alba Fire is on SmackDown. Andrade. He just came, but he is listed under a specific brand. He just returned, but according to the website.
I feel like someone did a thing where like, I've signed him and he's now with All Brand. And I'm going to say it was Aldis. So he's SmackDown.
Wrong. Andrade is on Monday Night Raw.
Fuck.
I could see them putting Andrade up on the screen and saying like Raw has drafted Andrade, even though he was already on, because they want to make a big deal out of his return. And like, I could see them. Yeah. I could see him getting a little business in the draft, so to speak.
Oh yeah.
But they have so much talent. They have so many people.
I hear there's 150.
They have 20 goddamn stables of 14 people each. So there's going to be a lot of that, Apollo Crews.
He's still there?
He's still there. According to the website.
I have not seen him.
Neither have I.
In a long time.
But he's there.
So none of these are Swerve. None of these are like NXT.
No, I only did Raw and SmackDown because otherwise we would have a list of, then we would really have 200 people. Apollo Crews is on Raw.
But he's not though.
No. Ashante Adonis.
I don't know who that is at all.
Yeah. Now you know how I felt when you last week we talked about all the people that AEW released. Now you know how I feel.
Yeah, but the people I was talking about, we did recap shows and talked about
when
them.
They were there. I don't know.
We did no Ashante Adonis anything. SmackDown.
You got that one right. I mean, at the end of the day, it is always a 50-50 shot, but you did get that one right. I know. Asuka. Member of Damage Control. I forgot to add her in with that group. We'll get to that group later, but
SmackDown.
Asuka is on SmackDown. We'll come back to Damage Control when we get to the rest of them. Let's continue on, but we'll come back to that because I do have a question about that.
Okay.
Austin Theory.
Him and Waller are together. But wait, now this could be really confusing because they are now the SmackDown Tag Team Champions.
Yes.
So, SmackDown.
Yes. Austin Theory is already on SmackDown as of recording. Okay. Bailey.
SmackDown.
Yeah, she's the women's champion over there. She's the not SmackDown women's champion.
Yeah, she's fighting her brand's champion because she was in Damage Control. Yeah, I got that one.
All right. Becky Lynch.
Raw
is correct.
Because that's where her husband is. That's the other trick. You find out where their spouse is.
That's a very good trick. You're not dumb for attempting that trick there. Bianca Belair.
Where the fuck are they? They're on Raw.
Bianca Belair is a SmackDown talent.
Oh no.
Yeah. No, it really is.
Okay.
Bianca Belair, I think she's primed to head back to Raw. I think she started on Raw, and then I think she got drafted to SmackDown. I think it's time to mix up the divisions, I think now, specifically for the women. And I think that that Bianca and Rhea have some business still ahead of them. But I could be wrong.
Business.
I could be wrong.
Like you're going to buy a pizza shop?
Yeah. They're going to open up a small pizza shop. It's going to be called Ripley's Belair or Not. It's a combination of their names.
Whip it up, Mamaroni.
Ripley's, believe it or not. Did you get that one right? I can't remember. No, you got that one wrong.
Sure I did.
All right, Bloodline. Jimmy Uso.
Bloodline. SmackDown.
They're all on SmackDown. Jimmy Uso, Roman Reigns, Solo Sikoa. And now, of course, it's not listed. Tonga is not listed on the website as of this time. But
ooh, that's embarrassing. You should get on the website.
Big question here. We talked about like what you do with the Bloodline because the story keeps evolving and they keep finding the same people. Do the Bloodline as a whole or any individuals get drafted?
Last year or 2 years ago, they had done that because it was, as a group, it was Roman, Solo, and Heyman went as a pick.
Right, but the Usos
and then I think Jimmy
back.
was later.
Right.
Yeah, it was weird stuff. So I feel like you still keep the Bloodline together on a show, but have all the drama and Roman's not around for a little bit. Like do that, but don't split them up via a draft at this point.
Right.
That just seems unnecessary. It's like, oh, well, they could come back into power, but they got separated via choice.
Yeah. Braun Strowman.
He hasn't been around a long time.
Still
he just
employed.
Seems like a raw man.
He is a raw man.
Yeah.
You mean meat. You mean the way he eats, right? Speaking of raw men.
He's a raw man.
Speaking of raw men, Braun Breaker.
SmackDown.
He is on SmackDown. And I think, I don't know, he's new there. I think he's going to stay there.
Yeah, it would be weird to go.
But I think just like with Andrade, they're going to do that thing where they go SmackDown, drafts, Braun Breaker. He's not going anywhere. We got him. We just signed him. You know, like we want to keep him because I think they want to, again, put a little spotlight on him.
He's tricky with the brand identity because if you're doing the Netflix push and because you do want some intense, exciting people to have clips or to,
right.
If something hovers for half a second on Netflix and then it just starts up right away.
Right.
A Braun Breaker clip would be exciting.
Yeah, it would. Bronson Reed. Big Bronson Reed.
Big Bronson Reed. Don't get his name
He's not listed
wrong.
as that. He's just listed as Bronson Reed on the website.
That's not his name no more. He is shit.
That's not
Raw.
WWE shit. Not yet. I know that it sounds like the one that's on Twitter, but Big Bronson Reed is on Monday Night Raw, correct? Cameron Grimes.
Raw?
SmackDown. You did not know he was there, did you? Your favorite wrestler in the women's division, Candice LeRae.
I know she's on Raw because I get those 10 minutes when I fast forward.
Cedric Alexander.
SmackDown?
He is on SmackDown, correct. Charlotte Flair out on injury right now, but is under one of the two.
SmackDown.
Also SmackDown talent, yeah.
Because that's where her husband is.
Yeah, and I don't think she's going to move, because I don't think she's due back for a little while, so I don't think they're ever going to mention her at the draft. I don't think she's good. There's no point in mentioning her or drafting her.
They do, though. That's what they do with
do they?
injured folks.
Oh, okay.
To still say, There's the occasional time where there's someone who's just out of the mix and they want to keep that storyline, but
Right.
that's like one or two people.
Got
But
it.
usually it's when there's still a big name out there, they go, hey,
Right.
this person's on this show.
Got it. Chelsea Green.
Raw.
She is a raw talent. Cookie Monster Punk.
Cookie Monster is on Raw.
CM Punk is on Raw. Does CM Punk get drafted, or do they leave him there so that when he comes back, he's got, Drew and Seth to play with, assuming they don't both also get drafted?
Okay, you got to keep him and Drew on the same show for sure.
Yeah.
The Seth thing would be nice,
Right.
but I feel like you can still do something where
Right.
you go, all right, special occasion, or the brands fighting
Right.
each other, and you start that up again. But him and Drew got to be on the same show.
Right.
I would say you keep them on Raw. Netflix, Punk.
Yep.
That seem like that works.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah. Although the Netflix thing starts when, though? Because I feel like
Let's see.
we might have a whole other fucking draft before Netflix ever happens. We keep bringing it up. It might not be happening until like October 2025 or some shit like that.
January 2025.
Okay. So we will be towards
It's less than a year.
it'll be towards the end of this quote season with the drafts.
That's when they're going to go TV mature, and that Punk's going to be like, "Hey, suck my dick," and Drew's like, "The dick that's under my kill, don't shoot my dick,
Yeah.
cameraman." And they'll just say "dick" all the time.
Undisputed WWE. Seems like they're taking Universal out of the title. Champion Cody Rhodes.
Oh, it's just so many words.
I agree, and it does seem like they're ditching it finally.
Raw.
Yes, he is a Raw person despite having the SmackDown championship,
Right.
and therefore I think he will be drafted to SmackDown
Oh, okay.
because I think they're just going to go, yeah, we want the World Heavyweight title on Raw, and we want the WWE title on SmackDown, or again, we might get to it here in a little while, or they just draft Damian so that the two shows switch titles. Could go either way.
Yeah.
The Creed brothers, Brutus and Julius Creed.
Raw.
They are both on Raw. You're doing really well. Dexter Loomis.
Oh man, I haven't seen him forever. SmackDown.
He is on Raw as well.
Oh.
DIY, Johnny Gargano, and Tommaso Ciampa.
They are another 10 minutes that I get back when fast forwarding
It's
on
not fair.
Raw.
They're my favorites. I love them.
You really? They would name something great they did recently.
I love them. They were really fun in a match. They're
Are
very
you on board
they're very funny backstage.
with this Regeneration X thing.
Only as long as R-Truth is involved. If R-Truth and them separate and they're no longer in segments and they keep doing it, then I'm not on board with it. But them doing it because they think it's funny with R-Truth, I'm 100% on board with it.
Okay, so I'm asking you, since R-Truth talks, I watch. Anyone else talks, I fast forward.
Like literally in the segment, even when they're all
Yeah.
talking? Oh, that seems exhausting.
It's a time saver, I tell you. What have they done to run with it? Because anytime I've seen Tommaso, he just seems unenergetically annoyed by it.
Yes, that's his role.
But are they doing enough with it? Do you think they're really capitalizing on it, like as performers?
You know what? I think in that match at Mania, when they did the sweet chin music and the pedigree, which by the way, we didn't even talk about that. Ciampa's pedigree looked better than any pedigree Triple H has given in fucking 20 years. That shit was incredible. But outside of that, no. But they've been putting on consistently great matches. And
Yeah, I just mean the segments when they get to talk.
no, I mean, it's, but it's also tough because those segments are always the R-Truth show, as they kind of should be, because he's just that fun. But I get what you're saying, but I still fucking
I
love
know
them.
comedy
Yeah.
doesn't come with reactions at all.
No. Have you watched AEW? You got to get your shit in. All right, now let's go back to Damage Control because I forgot to group them all together. So now we've got the rest of them: Dakota Kai, Io Sky, and Kairi Sane.
SmackDown.
They are all SmackDown. Do we keep them and Asuka, the four of them, together?
No.
We split them up, or do we move them all to Raw?
I think you could take out a member.
Okay. Who's that?
I think you could take out Dakota Kai.
Oh, interesting.
She doesn't, when I see them, I go like, she don't fit.
Right.
Size wise, she's totally different background. She can speak English fluently, which seems like that's also a separation of, granted, she could be the mouthpiece of it all, but
right.
Asuka's so crazy and insane when she can speak for a group. I feel like if you got Dakota Kai separated and her and Bailey could start going at it, you know, that I'd probably put, this is what I did. I put the rest of Damage Control on Raw.
Right. Like
keep Bailey and Dakota on SmackDown, excuse me.
Right. Do we move away from Damage Control as a title? Maybe something, listen, this is like, we're in Black Lotus, what was it called? The Triangle?
The HBO show?
Yeah. Black Lotus Triangle, Black Lotus Triad. I think it was Triad. Black Lotus Triad was like, I think it was from Underground or from, God damn it.
Raw Underground?
Yeah, from Raw Underground.
Yeah,
from Lucha.
That's what you call them. You call them Raw Underground.
Weren't they on Lucha Underground as a thing? I don't know, but this is Asuka, Io, and then another talent that's not with the company. But it's just like, you know, there's Japanese women who are all, you know, interconnected.
Either call them Raw Underground or Lucha Underground.
All right.
Either way, I think that's a winner.
All right. Drew McIntyre. Where's he at?
Raw.
Yeah. You got to keep him.
Keep him on there.
Got to keep him there.
Because there's a couple people like that with Punk. And I think Cody, if you stayed on there too, those are people exciting enough that if you saw them multiple times in a 3-hour show,
right,
that helps carry that show.
Right. Eric, Ivar, and Valhalla.
Raw.
They are on Raw. Now, Ivar just made a big, oh, fuck. Is it Eric? I can't remember. I think it's Ivar. Just made a big splash on NXT. I'm not sure if we saw the clips, but I think he's going down to NXT to try to challenge for a title there as a singles competitor. And he came out looking like some just badass dude at like a biker bar. And I thought to myself, ooh, I think Scott might be able to get behind this guy if he's like this. Because I know
Vikings and Eights.
Because I know that Vikings and Eights. Yeah.
But Eights is ATES.
Right. Because Vikings eat a lot. Everybody knows that.
Because it's a lot of turkey legs.
But yeah, I don't know. You know, we might see a rebranding or a split here. But the thing is he's the odd man out. The other two are married. So I could see them keeping.
So you're talking the heavy guy, right?
Yes, the heavy guy. The guy that's the bigger.
He's been having some killer matches on Raw too, doing shit with Ricochet and all that, which I like that it's been, hey, week to week, you're going to see this person in a match and we're going to let that speak for itself and they're going to get noticed that way. Yeah. Because I have a fucking Viking. What am I going to do?
Right. I could see them maybe trying to separate this tag team. And if they keep Valhalla and Eric as Vikings, I could see Ivar going and being a different bikery guy. I think
this could be a good pivot for him. Yeah. Because when the whole unit of 3 isn't around, that's troublesome for him.
Yeah, you look like you're just out there at a Ren fair.
Yeah, so I hope so for this guy's sake. I hope that's something he can tap into.
Alrighty.
So even if he isn't on the main roster for a while, but he can rebrand and do shit on NXT, great.
Akam, Karrion Kross, Razar, Scarlett, The Final Testament. Got a big stable here.
SmackDown.
They are all on SmackDown. That is correct. Any ideas about this group? I think personally they stay put.
It's so early.
Yeah.
It'd be such a fucking momentum killer for all those guys to go like, hey, you know that thing we started up with you? Where that's all over. Yeah. We're splitting all you up.
Right.
And who knows, maybe they do, but AOP they're back on the scene, and I don't know if they really got enough going on. So
Yeah.
maybe you'd stick them all on Raw. That could be a thing.
Right. Grayson Waller?
SmackDown.
Yeah, I tried to trick you here. Imperium, Giovanni Vinci, Gunther, and Ludwig Kaiser.
Raw.
All on Raw.
This could be split up.
Really? You think Imperium should be split up?
Yeah, because if you're going to... So Gunther lost Intercontinental title at Mania. I don't think it's crucial that he has a rematch. I think it can just be he lost and he's pissed off, moves on. They get split up. He doesn't care. If you want to keep one of the Imperium guys on the same show as Gunther, but I think this is now the slow Gunther face push.
Oh, so you think they split up Gunther and one of the two and then send another guy? I would assume that you split the tag team up with Gunther.
They could be, and I could see it going either way. Like if they want Giovanni and Fettuccini to do their thing as a tag team still, and there's no Gunther presence, or one of the guys can still be run and be like, hey, we could start a new Imperium. We could do stuff. And Gunther's like, no,
right.
You failed me. I'm done with you. Your disappointment. And I don't need this anymore. I'm just a singles guy. That he could be doing the matches and doing stuff where he's honorable and the fans just start to like him.
Right.
And he's not the dominant champion anymore. That there's something else. Right?
I mean, the fans already like him and they like to boo him. He's good in that space, but it would not
be undeniable. We can't boo you anymore. We like you too much.
Do you know what it is? It's like when he was the big burly version of him as Walter, when he debuted, Pete Dunne is a champion, started as a heel, super uber babyface by the time he's holding the title and everybody loves him. And then it's like Gunther comes,
super oily babyface. I think you meant
Gunther comes along and everybody's just like fucking so excited that they're all chanting Walter. And it's one of those things where it's like, they're both the babyface, but also some people do want one person to win and some people want the other person to win. And that's okay. You know?
But Gunther at some point here will be on the trajectory of super, super babyface. I think we would have got that sooner had it been Brock versus him at Mania.
Maybe
we would have started that trajectory, but maybe this is it now. I am certainly open and welcome to it.
Indy Hartwell.
I forgot what we were doing. I was like, why are you bringing her up? What?
I just throw names for wrestlers.
Raw.
Yes, she's on Raw. You got it right.
Because Candice LeRae's on Raw. There you go. And they friends is.
Indy Sure. Jinder Mahal, Sangha, and Veer.
Raw?
They are all on Raw. Yep.
I want something out of these guys.
Me too.
The look is cool. These guys seem like big badasses. I don't know if they are. I've really not seen them wrestle much. I like Jinder.
Do you want to know?
I just want to see stuff.
You want to know what? I have a weird problem with Veer. And that is the presentation of these guys is great. Okay. I love that it's like rooted in a culture. You know, I'm a sucker for that. I'm not of
gives me Temple of Doom vibes, which I love.
But you also have a guy who they based a big Hollywood movie on. And it's hard for Veer is the subject for the inspiration for a movie they made with John Hamm about a baseball player. It was like a cricket player. He was like an actual professional cricket player.
$1 Million Arm?
Yes. Who was like scouted to play MLB. And so because of that, I have this weird disconnect where when I see him, I go, oh yeah, baseball guy. And I go like, he should have a gimmick where he plays baseball, where he throws baseballs really hard at people. I don't know what it is. You know what I mean? Like,
so wait,
no way, Jose.
How is this character of Veer related to the cricket player turned baseball player? The name?
No, that's him. That's the guy.
He's the actual
guy they based the movie on. He was
Veer is John Hamm.
All right, Isla Dawn. Where is she?
This really the guy? That's really the $1 million arm guy.
Although I keep forgetting whether that's the name of the movie, but it sounds right. I think it was.
So he's the legend of Bagger Vance.
Yeah, that's Bagger. Sangha.
It's not a movie podcast,
Sangha,
but I could do this for a fucking hour.
Sangha is Vance. Indashir, I'm sorry, Veer is Bagger. And then, what was his name?
Jinder is Matt Damon.
Stabby? What was that guy's name? Shanky. Shanky is Will Smith. All right. Anyways, Isla Dawn. This is the other member. I couldn't remember the name. Isla Dawn is paired with Alba Fire. Alba and Isla.
SmackDown.
Yes, SmackDown is correct. I think no matter what happens, to keep those two together. We don't have enough women tag teams. You have women tag titles, and there's not enough women that are actually tag team, and they feel like a tag team. So keep them together.
And Piper Niven goes with everybody.
Yeah, yep. All right, we're at the 50 mark here. Well, wait, let's do a couple more. And then
let's do a lightning round.
All right, well, they might be more. All right, Ivy Nile.
Raw.
Correct. Jade Cargill.
SmackDown.
Correct. Judgment Day. Damian Priest, Dominic Mysterio, Finn Balor, JD McDonough, and Rhea Ripley.
They're on every fucking show. This is confusing. Raw.
They are all Raw talents.
Okay.
Do you think Priest gets drafted or Cody gets drafted? Because they're right now both champions are technically on Raw, according to the website.
Andrew Beeler in the chat says Cody should just stay on Raw. Curtis Mason says maybe Damian Priest gets drafted to SmackDown to break up Judgment Day.
Oh,
then Cody can stay champ on Raw.
Oh, just Damian though, without.
That's a pretty solid idea, because then you could say Rhea is then the leader, definitively, of Judgment Day.
Yeah,
and keep them around, and maybe they start recruiting again. Then maybe they're looking for the next person. Otis.
I do like that. Priest and Rhea have been referring to them. They have a nickname. I can't remember what it is. The Terror Twins.
Yeah.
He said it on, and I was like, ooh, I'm really.
At the press conference.
Oh, I saw it on Raw. He said it on Raw or SmackDown that I saw, like on air. And I went like, ooh, I like that. And a part of me went like, ooh, have Damian get in there and get Dominic away from her and have like a little love triangle and keep the two of them. But maybe not. I don't know. Although Dominic and her are very great together. So also I don't want to fuck that up.
Yeah, but he's married now.
Piece of shit. I could see them putting Priest on his own, but I don't want them to. I want Judgment Day to stay together a little bit longer.
It would be difficult to go, hey, everything you had around you is now gone. So now go be champ. But you know, I'm liking these ideas that Andrea and Curtis are throwing out here, that Cody staying on Raw. I think he can help maintain a 3-hour show and make it help fly by a little bit more. Right. Damian Priest could get a different identity by breaking up. But yeah, he needs like a lack here too.
Yeah.
To just throw him out there.
Yeah, I kind of.
That's trouble.
Yes, I 100% agree. And I do feel like if you're going to split Judgment Day up, use it as an opportunity to make somebody. Doing it in a draft with no story it feels anticlimactic. If Finn turns on Priest to turn Priest babyface and Finn takes Judgment Day back from, you know what I mean? Like, then great.
Or Rhea's the separate entity. Maybe that's what it is. He gets all Judgment Day and she's on her own. And then Dominic is forlorn on SmackDown going like, I miss mommy.
Yeah, maybe.
Shut up.
All right, Jey Uso.
Raw.
Katana Chance and Kaden Carter. We're going to group them together since they tag a lot, even though they're singles competitors.
Raw.
Yes. You're crushing.
Wow.
Kevin Owens.
SmackDown.
Yes. You think Kevin stays?
Put him and Sami on the same show again.
Yep. LA Knight.
You got to do an Intercontinental title match with those two. You just got to.
Yeah.
LA Knight is currently on SmackDown. I totally see him going to Raw.
Great. Legado del Fantasma, Angel Garza, Berto, Electro Lopez, and Santos Escobar.
I was surprised that a couple of those dudes still work there when I saw them in segments. They are on Raw.
No, they're on SmackDown.
What the? Oh.
Ooh, that's 4 wrong and one wrong answer that you got there.
Son of a bitch.
Liv Morgan.
SmackDown.
Raw. The LWO, Carlito, Cruz del Toro, Dragon Lee, Joaquin Wilde, and Rey Mysterio.
SmackDown.
Yes.
I feel like Fox has a hold on Rey Mysterio. They're just not letting him go.
Yeah, I could see Legado del Fantasma being brought over so that we can stop it with this Latin on Latin violence, which is like,
Yeah.
It's like, all right,
let some white people get a chance.
yeah, come on. I mean, and not just the Philadelphia Eagles.
Oh yeah,
right.
where are they gonna go?
We're gonna step aside really quickly here because we'll come back to this list. We're on number 73 of the list, but there is a tab on the WWE roster page for free agents. So while we're not going to include NXT,
Are we on there?
we're not, which is ridiculous because I am free and without an agent. So I'm a little surprised by two of the people on this list, very specifically. But the list in total is Brock Lesnar on the list as a free agent. Do you think they bring up Brock Lesnar?
Yeah.
Yeah. You think he's meaning you think someone's going to draft him? He's going to get drafted?
Yeah, I think so. If they're putting it on the website, then yeah. Triple H
goes?
Was kind of shitty in one of the pressers and just going like, is it Brock's at home being Brock?
Yeah.
Brandon Thurston from WrestleNomics, so he's, he still works here. So
where do you think he goes? Raw, SmackDown? Or is he never
SmackDown.
Or is he never signed to a specific show? Is he just always a perpetual free agent because he just shows up when he wants to show up?
SmackDown. I say put him on Fox Sports.
The first of the two people who I'm shocked to see on this list, Logan Paul, listed as a free agent, current United States champion.
Wow. Logan Paul, current floater. Headline. Raw on Netflix. I think you gotta try for that, right? Like you're not trying for TV. Like in the long run,
Right.
you're trying to do the Netflix thing with him because that's
right.
Streaming, that's internet culture. It's different, right?
So yeah, thinking Logan Paul gets drafted to Raw officially.
I think so. Yeah.
Omos.
He's a free agent.
Yeah. Almost.
Right here, just the lower middle. Third host of Pro Wrestling Palskis. Omos.
Oh my God. I'd be interested to hear what he has to say.
Signed to our show.
All right, love that. And the second person on the list that I'm shocked is listed as a free agent, R-Truth, half of the current Raw Tag Team Champions.
Is that just because they ask him and he doesn't know where he works?
That's a very good bit. God, I have never clicked into any of the profiles. I hope it clicks in and it says like, we here at the .com asked R-Truth where he was signed. He said he wasn't sure.
He thinks he's working at TNA right now. Raw.
Yeah, I mean it makes sense, right? He has the title there with that color.
Raw and also just the format of the show, 3 hours, and I want him to have more of a chance of having comedy bits
right.
than the 2-hour show.
Two more people are listed on this. I skipped MVP. He was also listed, but I'm skipping over
because he's with Omos and wherever he goes.
Von Wagner.
Oh, he's the giant forehead, weird looking guy, right?
Guy, caveman.
Oh man, the world is his oyster.
Honestly,
so is his forehead.
I don't know whether he was really ever billed as a baby face or like, I think they were trying to push him as a baby face, but also, I don't know. I feel like he's a big, scary dude that I want to see a baby face get wins on.
Yeah, I'd say SmackDown, because if him and Breaker did anything, that there's a chance of, hey, let them do some stuff for a while and try to get noticed. So maybe SmackDown with Vaughn forehead.
Right. The last person on the list is Zion Quinn. Do you know who this is? No. I might be saying his first name wrong. It's Xyon. I'm assuming it's Zion or Kion.
This is not some sort of beard oil product. We're sure about this.
Not that I'm aware of. He has sort of a Malachi Black kind of look to him, but he's not at all European. He has almost like the Samoan style tattoo that like covers his pec, but great looking dude. He was an NXT.
I just looked him up.
He was an NXT guy, but for some reason he's not listed as on the NXT roster. He's listed as a free agent, which makes me feel like maybe they had plans to do something with him.
The Samoan Ghost.
It's a great name.
So initially, Well, I'm just trying to look him up here. He's from Australia. It's a lot of stuff. Clearly he's trained by Chris Harrow. Visual gags. Yeah, it seems like he's a pretty legit athlete. It looks like he was a football player. And by football, I mean the world's football.
The one that you actually play with your foot.
Cha. Yeah, I'd say the only problem initially looking at the photos that were available online was you got that Tama Tonga kind of look.
Does.
Lean, tall, like Islander look. So just get if they're going to be on SmackDown, put him on Raw.
Right. Yeah. Keep him away from the bloodline.
And give him a cape or something. I don't know.
give him Neville's old cape. All right. So back to our master list here. Number 73, Naomi.
God. Naomi is of course on SmackDown.
Naomi, yes. Natalia.
SmackDown.
No, Raw.
She's been on everything. There's no distinction.
They need to draft her to the fucking E Network. New Catch Republic, Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate.
Raw.
They are SmackDown talents. Wow. They should stay there and just put on great wrestling matches. The New Day, Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods.
Raw.
They are on Raw. Nia Jax. Where's her hole?
Again, let's just quick point of contention. Why everyone was upset when New Day got split up. You know, Big E got a singles run and everything, but they weren't together and Big E's neck is broken.
So there you go.
This is why sometimes it's not great to break up something that's amazing.
There you go.
So who is it?
Nia Jax. Who is it? Come on now. How dare you?
Raw.
She is on Raw. Nikki Cross.
SmackDown?
No, she's on Raw.
Have you seen her in a long time?
No.
That's
Not in a while.
We should see.
You know, when we were talking about the LWO earlier,
she's in the LWO.
It's crazy. Who knew? Honestly, she's 1/16th. Guatemalan, 1/16th Guatemalan specifically. Zelina Vega, I forgot to mention, because when I was writing the alphabetized groupings, I actually accidentally wrote NWO instead of LWO. So she's down here in the ends because I screwed it up. Zelina Vega. You got right where the rest of that group was. No, you got SmackDown. Yeah, you did get right. And yes, they were all on SmackDown. The OC, the rest of the OC, Carl Anderson, Luke Gallows, and Minchin.
I guess SmackDown.
Those are all on SmackDown. Do you think that they separate her or them rather from AJ?
I've been fortunate enough to not see any of the OC with AJ in this latest incarnation. Maybe Triple H can get some out of these guys. I don't know. Every time I've ever watched Good Brothers, whatever it is, I don't see anything in this pairing. I don't get it. I get it. They're funny and they roast alligator and they do Howard Finkel impressions on a podcast, but that doesn't translate to TV and tag team wrestling. So split up, do whatever, fresh change, all that is all welcome. Let AJ do his thing. And if you got new ideas for these guys, fantastic.
Right. Yeah. One of my up and coming faves, who I also have not seen a lot of recently, but I would like to, Odyssey Jones.
Oh yeah. I liked him. Raw?
Yes. Yeah. He got brought up to Raw and then immediately sidelined.
Well, you got to call him Big Odyssey Jones.
Also, you got Odyssey, you got the Creed brothers and Brutus and Julius. Like, there are other parts of the world that you can pull from with names. Just gonna go ahead and let everybody know.
I don't.
Hey, I wonder if somebody ever walked up to Vince. Hey, how often do you think of the Roman Empire? Pretty Deadly, Elton Prince, and Kit Wilson.
Oh, those dudes are on SmackDown.
Yeah,
because Kevin Owens punched both their faces.
God, I love that. That was very fun to me. Piper Niven.
Raw.
Yes. Randy Orton.
SmackDown.
He was on SmackDown. You think Randy stays, or you think they just move him back?
Yeah, I'd say you keep him on SmackDown.
Yeah. Raquel Rodriguez.
Raw.
Yes, she's on Raw.
So many R's.
Yep. I think she should stay on Raw because when she does come back, I think her and Rhea have some unfinished business that could be good. Ricochet, your favorite talker.
Raw.
He is on Raw. He's also on
I like
WWE
what they've been
Speed.
doing with him. I think that's a smart way to go.
Yeah.
Like I was saying before with the heavy Viking
with
Raider,
Ivar.
that just let him have the matches, be impressive, and let the crowd react week to week.
Absolutely.
And then eventually go, we wrote down 3 lines for you. Say these. And do multiple takes.
Sami Zayn.
Sami Zayn is on Raw. And that needs to change. Him and Kevin need to be on the same show. Don't care what show it is, just on the same show.
That is correct. So you would like one of the two of them. Now, here's the thing is if we think that they should put what's his face? Paul on Raw, he's got the US championship. It only makes sense then draft Sammy to SmackDown.
Oh, I see.
So that way both shows have their mid-card title, and now
Sure.
KO stays where he is. Sammy comes to him.
Okay.
Seth freaking...
And then it's, hey, meet my new buddy, Randy.
Yeah. Oh, that's fun. I like that. And then Randy's always irritated by him.
He's like, can you just land
what they do
on
is
something?
they just redo what they did with Matt Riddle, but with somebody who's not going to let the company down.
Yeah. Well, I mean, come on. It's wrestling. Someone's always going to do something.
Seth freaking Rollins.
Seth freaking Rollins is on Raw.
And you think it's time for him to jump ship? Been there for a long time.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Put him on SmackDown.
Get him out of that that title. And maybe, again, if that's where Reigns is staying and you want to go back to some story between the two of them, then you have that to pull from if you'd like.
Right.
Shayna Baszler.
Shayna, Raw.
She just seems like a Raw superstar to me. I don't know why. There's something about her. I go, yeah, she's on Raw.
I like her and Zoe together quite a bit.
Good.
I like what they're doing. And I want to see more of that.
We didn't talk about this last week when we did news. I think it's kind of newsworthy. They advertised, I think it's already happened now, those listening in the pod feed, but Sheamus, who there were so many rumors about not re-signing a contract, maybe going to AEW, maybe going elsewhere, they announced that he's coming back. He is currently signed to SmackDown. Came back to SmackDown this past week, if you're listening to this in the pod feed.
We did it.
Where do you think he should go?
To whatever they had the video package for.
Oh, really?
They got to make another one?
Well, which one was it then? What did I just say?
He said
There we go.
SmackDown. So it's like he's coming to SmackDown, but now he's been drafted to Raw.
Well, it might just be that they brought him to SmackDown. Oh, wait, it's the draft. Wait, that's the draft episode. Oh, no, never mind. It's the week after. It already happened. Sorry, time is a
Oh my God, General Manager Sheamus.
time is a fat circle. I think that they might have brought him back just to be like, hey, he's here, and then he gets drafted to the other show. I think that's perfectly acceptable.
Was he not going to Raw?
According to the website, according to the .com, you might be right, but according to the .com, he's
Okay.
listed as a SmackDown star. Shinsuke Nakamura.
Shinsuke Nakamura's on Raw.
He is. Think he should stay there?
No.
Yeah, move him around.
Switch it up for
Switch him around.
Shinsuke.
Give him lots of different opponents. I think
But you also have to draft the guy that does subtitles in real time.
right. He's very good. And
Because
get
otherwise,
him on the
what's he
get
saying?
him on the Hall of Fame. Why is that so hard? Shotzi, no longer Blackheart. Just
Sheamus to make a WWE return on Raw.
well, there you go. So he's coming back to a show that he's not signed to, according to the .com.
Bum, bum, bum.
Shotzi, no longer Blackheart. They ditched the Blackheart.
Okay.
The one part of
They
her,
need to ditch a lot of stuff.
the
with her,
one
but,
part of her that was like, yeah, that is piratey. That is a gimmick.
SmackDown?
She is on SmackDown.
Sure.
Sonya Deville. I like Sonya a lot.
SmackDown?
She's on Raw. Tamina is still listed on the website. I think she's
What?
openly
I thought
retired.
she went in the Hall of Fame.
She openly retired. I thought
Openly retired, but no one retires in wrestling.
I thought that Muhammad Ali.
Why does Rock's daughter
gave her-
have the job that Tamina should have?
I think we know why.
Shouldn't? No, I don't. I've seen her
All right.
talk.
All right.
I think Tamina could make much better TV.
Where do you think Tamina's listed as on the website? Which roster?
The best? Do they have the best on
No,
there?
she's not a WWE legend of legends.
Alumni?
I told you it's Raw or SmackDown.
Raw.
No, wrong, SmackDown. I hope she gets.
Doesn't matter. She should be on all
I hope
shows.
they
She
draft
should
her.
be
Yeah.
a brand ambassador.
Tegan Knox. Girl with the
Ugh,
shiniest wizard.
I don't care.
You don't like her at all. Take a guess. You got a 50.
I think she's on Raw
She
because
is.
they tried to do a fucking chokeslam thing again. I was like, oh my God.
The Miz, one half of the Raw.
They always have to justify it. They always have to go, her favorite wrestler is Kane. That's why she's trying that.
Tegan Knox. I'm sorry, Miz rather, half of the Raw Tag Team Champions.
Raw.
Who would have thought? All right, the Pride. Angelo Dawkins, B-Fab, Bobby Lashley, and Montez Ford.
Well, you said Bianca's on SmackDown, so they're on SmackDown.
They are on SmackDown. Good catch. I think that you keep this group together. Don't do any of that weird splitting. But if they do, get Montez out of there, make him a single star.
Yeah.
I don't want them to separate them yet. But if it's going to happen, Montez is the guy.
Yeah, because Montez is...
It's crazy to me
He's
that
ready.
they didn't really like that elimination chamber spot that they gave him, and that like he was shining for a little while.
Yeah.
He was actually a shiny wizard. Tiffany Stratton.
She's SmackDown?
She is. Trish Stratus is still listed.
Raw.
Is, yeah, well, good job. Xia Li is listed.
Nobody does it like Xia Li. SmackDown.
I scrolled too fast. She is on Raw.
Okay.
I guess that's where the Mortal Kombat competition is. Zoe Stark.
She's on Raw.
That is correct. And there you have it. That's everybody. You
Jesus
did
Christ.
great, Scott. 3, 4, let's see. $15 wrong only out of 110.
God damn. That's pretty good.
Pretty damn good. You got, what is that? What's the math on that? 95?
If I didn't get that one Latino faction
that's-
incorrect,
honestly,
that would have really...
That's like 6 of them right there. But literally, you guessed 95 different human beings.
interchangeable human beings.
Brand affiliation. I'm wildly impressed. You did a shit ton better than I would have been able to do. And I've watched it recently.
You have a game now that tells you in real time who's on what
I don't
show.
play with any of these people.
I think this of all the times, of all the shakeups that we've done, because Triple H is booking the shows, because he's done his end of the year, his season finale,
Right.
and now really has to create things that are new. He has the plan in mind for WrestleMania 41.
Yep.
I'm looking to do this, and has a number of key players in place of, at this stage of the game, no pun intended, the scale. I'm not sure, because you'd have to probably have like 5 back in the day, 5 to 6 people where you go, I know where I want
Right.
them. Your top champion for sure.
Right.
But now maybe you need like 10, 20 people to know
Right.
where they're going to go.
And-
but he's got that in place.
It's like, yeah, it's like chess. It's like, I definitely want to ensure I know where all the movement of my most powerful, pieces are. And all the support pieces can be moving around. And it's good to know that in case, this bishop fails, then this rook is right there to step in, in case, because at the end of the day, they can only plan so much.
Yeah, there's always going to be variables. I think you're going to stumble across things like Punk and McIntyre catching so much fire where you go, yeah, Punk and Seth would be cool to do, but holy shit, I got this going right now, and we'll get to that when we get to that.
Yeah.
So I think there's a lot of we can hope, we can want certain things to say together, but of all the times when if they're gonna break something up, or if they're gonna change something drastically, and we go, what the fuck? I will be way more curious now to see what actually happens with that, because it doesn't feel like breaking it up for the sake of doing shocking television.
Right.
Something's in play.
Right. Yeah.
Somebody's got some bigger things.
Yeah.
So if Karrion Kross is broken up from the Final Testament, something's going to happen with Karrion Kross.
Yep. Absolutely.
And like you said, if it happened with Montez Ford or whatever, we'll actually get
follow through
feuds or things happening in the first few months minimum of interest.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I'm a lot more confident these days than I have been in the past for things like this silly draft, which doesn't really matter because people just switch throughout the year anyway. But it makes for some good, kayfabe storytelling. It's fun when you have two incredible people as kayfabe leaders of these shows in Pierce, and Aldis, and it's you've got plenty of opportunity for some fun shit to occur here, as long as people aren't wrestling matches to see who gets a pick. That's the only thing I want them to make sure that doesn't happen, because that's unbearable.
It's weird when for this match, since this show has cruiserweights, they get more picks, and there's the weird little rules there. It's 3 hours, so they get one more additional pick if they win this match. And all right, what would you do if you're structuring it right now? Is it a coin toss, and the winner of the coin toss, Raw or SmackDown, gets that first pick?
Yeah, I think that's the only, and
then it's just decided that way.
Fair way to
matches that happen throughout the night are just matches.
I do, 100%. They're just whatever. And again, it's SmackDown, so it's not Raw talent. It's just like during SmackDown, in between the matches, the segments, instead of backstage with fucking Judgment Day, it's gonna be, we're gonna be doing this thing, and it's we'd happen to be doing it publicly. I also don't dislike the 3-2 pick because Raw is a longer show, so it has a bigger roster. That doesn't bother me because at least they justify it. There's 1/3 less, or however, and people I'm not angry at that.
Presentationally, you have 110 people that are on the slab,
right. Not including NXT.
Right. Yeah. Do you put them all in a room and constantly cut to them? Do you do something? Do you put them in different locker rooms? Presentationally, what would you like to see different? Because I think we're going to see something potentially unique. And how they've shown this before.
I didn't hate that. I didn't hate when they showed the locker room, and the people getting up and walking.
But no one was ever getting dressed, right?
No, it wasn't the locker room. I'm sorry, you're right. It was backstage area. It wasn't in the locker room.
The monitor was sold out, brother.
But I didn't hate that because it felt like this is a company everybody's they're all invested in who's coming to their show, who might work with. It's also the thing that we love about Rumble a lot of times is, this matchup that we never thought about because they've been on separate sides of the story for so long, even if they just cross paths a little bit. There's so many matches that we could just allude to that might not even happen in the next couple of years, but it's just that those seeds where you can get that if you're cutting backstage and it's fucking KO. Not that I want to happen. Let's say KO goes to Raw and he walked past Punk and Punk just goes, "Welcome to the show," doesn't have to be a whole big thing, but we know oh shit, one day that's fucking possible. And they kind of already did a little bit of that. Did you catch the whole thing with the shirts when they were in Milwaukee with Punk, by the way? I'm sorry, with KO, the backstage. It was Raw. It was Raw, I think. And it was or maybe it was SmackDown. It was SmackDown. and Kevin Owens.
I didn't catch enough
Gotcha.
of either of the
So-
shows this week. I wanted to like sit down and watch them both, but I had to thumb
I'll
through.
tell you, and listeners, this is a week old now, but again, we record in the past. He's getting interviewed by Byron Saxon, and he goes like, "Byron, I'm so sorry, but you know how they've been doing this thing where like the camera follows people around? Like, I really just want to try that. So if you don't mind," then he takes the microphone from Byron, and then he starts walking through backstage, and he starts talking, cutting the promo while he's on his way to the ring. And on his way, he stops and they have one of those MLB Milwaukee or Detroit Tigers belts. You know, they've done all the belts for the different MLB teams. And he goes, "Oh, look at that. I like Tigers." And he picks the belt up off the table. And on the table are a bunch of different T-shirts for all the different wrestlers. And there's a little CM Punk shirt, and he just knocks it off the table, like a little pile of Punk shirts. It's really funny.
Ooh.
It's really good. He goes, knocks that off,
Salty.
knocks it off the table. And then he continues on. And it's great because when he gets to, you complained, I think it was at Mania with Sammy, that nobody was running the show. When he gets to Gorilla, he looks over and there's Jamie Noble, and he goes, "Jamie, take the microphone. Here, take this thing. Hey, you, cut the music. Go hit my music." And it's just like very fun and great. But in any case, I tell that story because, yeah, he's next to all the merchandise. He saw Punk shirts and he knocked them off the table when he picked the belt up. And I was just like, ooh, a little foreshadowing. Gotta love that.
Yeah, an opinion.
But yeah, so you can get those moments with people all in a camera backstage. So I don't mind that at all. I don't want everybody out in the ring. I don't want a big clouded or crowdy kind of annoying thing. I don't want a big set piece. Do it backstage. Let the people announcing the
I wouldn't
things.
mind something like some sort of speculation of, hey, these are probably the first 20 picks. And so we have all these people in this room, or almost in a way like the Oscars are presented, where it's, hey, all the people that are going to get drafted right away, or all the winners are up in the front. And then sometimes like someone wins and you go, "That movie fucking won," and they're up in the back.
Yeah. I think.
And then you can play with the, whoa, like I'm front and center, like I'm a top guy. You pick that guy. There's the outrage and upsetness that they're not wrangled and put in the spot that they feel they should be.
So,
and it feels like a locker room drama. And then maybe like we don't get any audio, right? But there's just this camera that's there, and we see all the action. And then then two guys could be just talking to each other, and then there's some shoving, and then there's a little choke, and then Cassiano could go. But then someone has to quit because they fear for their life.
Sure, of course. Do you remember when they had the USA Network and Fox Network executive offices?
Yeah, the people that didn't sleep or go home.
Okay.
That were wearing the exact same clothes.
I definitely don't want that.
They shot them all at the same time. I fucking
don't want that at all.
I don't want execs involved at all. I don't want any non-character.
Do you want to know what I actually do want, though? I want them to kayfabe tell us, is this draft happening in real time? Or did Aldis and Pierce and the executives, whatever, sit down earlier in the day, conduct the draft, and now they're here to let us know? Because if it's happening in real time, the one thing that they never showed, except for that god-awful time they tried to do it with the networks, was the like, oh shit, looking through the list. Fuck, I really wanted Damian Priest. All right. All right, well, we did, speaking with my team, this was our backup for this person, but now this person's no longer on the table. And like a little bit of that, if you want to make us feel like it's a sport and you're going to do sports stuff.
They did that a little bit at times with like Stephanie.
I don't dislike that, but like, I don't know.
I like that too. Yeah, that it's, you have picks in mind, but if it's already all chosen and you're going to stretch it out over 5 hours of programming, that's death. Don't do that.
Sure. That's fair. Well, there you have it, kids. WWE Draft's happening any day now. We'll see how it goes. It'll definitely be exciting because everything now, we have a year of firsts ahead of us. And everything is the first McMahon-less fill in the blank. So it'll be the first McMahon-less, you know what I mean? Vince McMahon-less.
Potentially.
Yeah. Draft. And so,
who knows? Maybe someone will draft Vince McMahon.
Oh no! What if NXT drafts him?
Was he in the free agent thing?
No, he wasn't. By the way, I like that you were like this. Was he in the free agent thing? The little finger wiggle. It felt dirty. It was gross. I was like, don't do that. I don't like it.
Yeah.
Well, kids, that'll do it for the show. Hey, you know all the stuff. You got to head on over to the Patreon and become a Patreon Palski. Best way to support the program. You can join us for these recordings live. We had Curtis Mason in the chat today, by the way, and he was all like, Logan Paul's on SmackDown, and I was all like, not according to the .com, and he was like, goddamn web designers. So head on over to Patreon. Get your ass in the chat and bitch with us while we record the show in real time. You can distract us. You think I have a hard enough time paying attention when it's just Scott and I talking? You can add to that. I'm
just trying to distract you.
Yeah, you can add to that so much more because the entire time we're having a conversation, I have a whole little chat scrolling next to me, and it's very distracting. It's very fun for everybody involved. So please consider becoming a patron so you can join in on that. You can also become a championship patron and challenge Strong Style, a.k.a. Gaines, for his PWP World Championship that he will be defending next week on the program. Scott and Narver, we have to thank our current Patreon Palskis.
Yes, we are the show that gives out retribution names as well as maximum model names. Why?
I don't know.
Because we've been waiting for a draft. And now we got one. So maybe both groups will be drafted back into the mix. Who's to say? So thank you to AJ0314, aka Binary, aka Matrice69, Alex Pierce, aka Figs, aka Zitoys, Alice Raider, aka Invasion, aka Evajois, Andrea Beeler, aka Pollinate, aka Achu Detest, Curtis Mason, aka Hurtus, aka Auche, Gilbert Short, aka Goliathon, aka Batal Under Ruse, Mass Llama, a.k.a. Spitz, a.k.a. Jakara Lover, Michael Beltran, a.k.a. Limestone, a.k.a. La Natural, Miguel Diaz, a.k.a. Bipod, a.k.a. Too Much Husk, Mike Lucas, a.k.a. Hackensack, a.k.a. Luge Testicle, Strong Style, a.k.a. Gaines, a.k.a. the current PWP champ, Suicide, a.k.a. K.A., Tim Bemis, a.k.a. War Trek, a.k.a. Tussle Quest, Tim Redbeard, a.k.a. Blood Fuzz, a.k.a. Blue Day Fusée, Tom Hader, a.k.a. Cupid, a.k.a. Cherub, and Tony Griggs, a.k.a. Big Griggs, a.k.a. Grand Grisois.
Thanks to each and every one of you for your continued support of the program. We sincerely appreciate it. Hey, head on over to dragonwagonshop.com and check out the official PWP store there. Tons of fantastic merchandise, including this lovely hat that I'm wearing. You can get it in a few different styles, a few different colors, whether you're a flat brim guy or gal, or you like a nice little curvy one like myself. There's t-shirts, there's mugs, there are phone cases, they're brand newish. It's been a while now. I could probably stop saying that. It's been like, what, 5 months? Hoodies.
It'll be brand new to them.
Hoodies available now. A lot of different designs, especially for the PWP. I mean, like, I think we're probably, of all the shows in the network, probably the ones that have the most different designs available for merchandise. Stuff that is PWP branded, stuff that is just like generic wrestling branded, stuff that's silly inside jokes. Listen, and stuff doesn't go away there for the most part. We've got, the old Hey Oats. Give us a Hey Oats. It's been a while. You do it so good, Scott.
Hey Oats.
God, I love it. Got the Hey Oats shirts still up over there. We've got brand new Hot Dog Mania running wild all on your asses. So much stuff there. Snagging some merchandise goes a really long way in helping us keep the doors open.
Don't be a must-turd and not get one of those shirts. Catch up, get one. You'll relish it.
Oh, Scott, that was so cute. You're adorable. I was gonna say it's a twofold way of supporting, because one, not only do you throw us a few bucks, and by the way, our markup is really low. We don't make a ton of money on the merchandise, but it does help. And we want to make sure that stuff is affordable. So not only did we get a couple bucks, but also you wear shit out in public and then people go, hey, what the hell is that? And then you go, I'll tell you what it is. Pro wrestling motherfucking Palskis, bitches. And then you give them a goddamn stunner. But you got to kick them in the tummy first. Don't forget.
Yeah.
Get your leg up high.
Otherwise they won't be prone.
Yeah, get your leg up high enough, though, because if you kick them in the balls, they're not going to play along with the stunner part of it. They're just going to be upset.
Yeah, then you're Stone Cold to Byron Saxton during the pandemic.
Yeah. And don't, you know what? Don't stun people's buttholes. I just found out. I had no idea. Just found out recently that that's not how you do it. So once again, check out the shop. Check out the Patreon. Check out the social medias at PW Palskis. I'm at Jake Lloyd Bacon. He's at Scott Narver. Hey, you know what else you can do? It's been a while since we've touted this. Leave a review over on Apple Podcast. Whether you're a new listener or you've been listening for a long time, you can head on over, leave a review. And if it's been a while, it'll just update your review. Obviously, the show's gone through changes throughout the years. So new reviews always help, because sometimes the old reviews don't reflect what the program is anymore. And last but certainly not least, make sure you're checking out the Discord. Discord is very easy, completely free, and it's a fantastic community of like-minded wrestling friends and friends for all sorts of different fandoms and facets of life. It's a really great community, and in my opinion, the best place to be for a pay-per-view. It is so much fun in there for every single pay-per-view. And also people obviously always tuning in during Raw and SmackDown and Dynamites and, all the other stuff.
Yeah, to have the live wrestling engagement as an event goes on, and to chat with people and to share things, share matches, share promos, all that kind of stuff. It's just, it's super fun.
Absolutely.
And it's free.
Your favorite cost. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, for joining us. It's always a blast hanging out with you, the Pro Wrestling Palskis. Hey everyone, Jake Lloyd Bacon here.
Along with Paul Bianchi.
And Alexandra Hoy.
Hey, we all host different shows on Dragon Wagon Radio.
We do, but that's not what we're here to talk about.
Not at all. We are here to talk about Dungeons and Dragon Wagon,
a narrative podcast series in which we venture into a mythical land for a D&D inspired role-playing game.
Alexandra and I are joined by Matt Hinksman and a very special guest of quest for each chapter of an epic saga in which we must take on the roles of half-orcs, dark elves, and more as we fight our way through a fantastical land of peril, drama, and often hilarity.
All of which is controlled by me, the Dungeon Master, and the players' chance rolls of the die.
And our show is for everyone. Even if you know nothing about D&D or role-playing games, we've got you covered.
That's right. Our game sessions are highly edited, easy to follow, sound designed from top to bottom, and completely immersive.
Yeah, our episodes sound more like a well-produced radio drama than an RPG show.
So what are you waiting for? Join the adventure on Dungeons and Dragon Wagon at dndwpod.com or wherever you find great podcasts.
It's Dragon Wagon.